Hey there and welcome back. In today's video, we'll be talking about soloing tier 5 group dungeons and its benefits in 2023. There are two main things that Albion Online players want and need. We need silver and combat fame. If you've recently started playing Albion Online or are like the other 70% of people, you might find yourself as a solo player. You're probably trying to find the most efficient way to make enough silver to pay for premium and how to quickly increase your combat fame to unlock new abilities or simply max out a set for the maximum possible item power. The changes in Albion Online implemented by the developers seem to constantly reward players in group content, making it a bit more difficult for solo players. An example of this is open world roaming. I'm a huge fan of roaming the black zone areas, including the roads. Some of the changes implemented encourage groups to go into the roads as there are more group activities with the increase of blue chests, making it even more difficult for solo players. And as we know, the Mists and the new Nightfall Abbeys can be hit or miss. With the abundance of 8.3 and 8.4 players you will come across, which is something average players cannot consistently compete with. So I wanted to give solo players an option to really make a good amount of silver and combat fame in a risk-free environment. My recommendation is to solo tier 5 group dungeons, and I'm going to explain why. I've done this for some time, especially before the launch of the East server. However, after the launch of the East server and the reduction in player population on the West, I did notice that the rewards had become a bit lackluster and seen mainly green or blue chests or some very sad epic chests. However, it's been over 2 months since the server launch and a couple of major updates, so I decided to go back in and test out soloing those tier 5 group dungeons. Now, I highly recommend purchasing tier 5 maps off the market in comparison to tier 5.1 or 5.2, as they only cost about 60,000 silver. Using maps to find random tier 5 group dungeons out in the yellow zone will save you a lot of time, and there seems to be a bit of a bonus that the tier 5 group dungeons maps feel more like tier 5.05. Before heading out, make sure to faction flag with your royal city. Since we'll be in a yellow zone, you can benefit from faction points. You'll average about 5,000 faction points per group dungeon, increasing your overall silver and combat fame. Now, I've done a good amount of group dungeons and I noticed that I was easily making a large profit, and there was a healthy amount of epic and even legendary chests. So I decided to start tracking to see what the actual profits look like. I tracked the last 7 group dungeons over a few days, as you can see here, and I was able to make about 35,000 faction points, which converts to about 510,000 silver if you were to purchase and resell the hearts. Now, I made 5,188,248 silver from loot and silver drops. This is about 30% of what premium costs on the West and in only 7 group dungeons. On top of that, I made 5,509,200 fame, plus an additional 3,364,580 fame credits, all in a safe zone. Now, your results may vary, however, these are the numbers I've consistently seen personally, and as you can see, I do have the receipts. Before you comment that you've done over 8,000 group dungeons and averaged only 20,000 silver per run, I highly recommend that you create a new email and Albion Online account, because you might just have bad RNG. You might be wondering what build I use to solo these group dungeons, so let's briefly talk about it. There are 3 items that can easily solo group dungeons, which are the Shadow Collar, Great Nature Staff, and Battle Axe. So whichever you prefer will work. You will also want to be around 1,600 item power. If you can do this with a tier 6.3 or 7.3 set, that is perfect. If not, you might need to purchase a tier 8.3 set. Personally, I'm using a mixture of all 3, which will save you a lot of silver. If you are needing to use full 8.3 to make up for mastery, I recommend using the Great Nature Staff or a Battle Axe, since they are a lot cheaper than Shadow Collar. The remaining part of the build will be the same, as you'll see. For your helmet, you'll take a Spectre Hood for Light of Insight, giving you 2 R abilities. Your armor piece is Hellion Jacket, with your R being Lifesteal Aura. This is huge as it allows you to heal off of a pack of mobs. The lower health that you have when you first use it, the more it'll heal you, which makes it a great way to fully top yourself off. Your offhand will be Muisak for the increased damage and healing. Your boots are Guardian boots, so make sure to take Giant for your F. This will increase your current and max health by a 100%. I use Giant to set up mobs or buy myself some time for large ability cooldowns. For your cape, go with the Limhurst cape. Since the mobs are in smaller packs in group dungeons, you tend to kill less at one time, which calls for more pulls, which uses up more energy quicker. For your consumables, I recommend taking a mixture of energy and poison potions. You can use your energy potions as you clear through the dungeon and have a poison potion for the bosses. For your food buff, make sure to take roast pork for the life steal. Now that we know how to clear all the mobs, let's talk about difficult, epic, and legendary chest bosses. I highly recommend that you invest in a druidic staff, mercenary jacket, and a torch offhand. This will make it where you can kill every boss in the dungeon except for the Earth Daughter. Now, you will also switch your Guardian Boots F ability to Rejuvenating Sprint for more mobility and increased healing. Make sure to give it a try. It really is a great way to gain a good amount of silver and combat fame, and has a very low risk. The tier 5 maps are also only 60,000 silver, allowing you for a quick turnaround in profit. I hope you enjoyed the video and gained some value from it. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Albion Online content. If you really want to support me and the channel, hit the join button down below and become a member. You get custom badges and emotes. You can catch me live on twitch.tv/Donnie956 4 days out of the week, and every Tuesday on YouTube at 9 a.m. Central Time or 2 p.m. UTC. Make sure to stop by and say hello.